This surprisingly works kind of well. You know, there's been a lot of people who has actually said that Batman is not as, well, anti-heroic here as he is in many different media. But here, Diana is actually saying something to him that is very much in line with how, well, you know, Batman really is. How far is he willing to go for victory? In case you do not know it, hi, this is the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer. No, I'm just kidding. That is not what I was truly going to say. In case you do not know, I do not know myself because I'm not a comic book reader. I am a Wikipedia reader and many other movies and blah 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 movies things. What I'm trying to say is, Batman is noted to cross many lines for victory. Or at least for what he feels is his own warped situations. Go to Watch Movie and says 10 worst things that Batman has done. And I have to agree, even for Batman, that is worse. And it's pretty strange that people tend to say that it's Superman who has to play the villain, while Batman is the hero. Granted, Superman has godlike powers, Batman is just a normal man. But even a normal man has sometimes paths he crosses. My point is, there is this very famous scene in the comic book, minor spoiler alert, where he left the Justice League because he had created simulations, so to speak, on how of each and everyone's weakness that Ra's al Ghul, I think it was Ra's al Ghul, in a movie it was Vandal Savage, exploited. So what I mean to say is Batman don't trust anybody. And while this doesn't show that he doesn't trust anybody, it does show that he is very willing to cross some high steps. So what's my point here? My point is, this is the Young Justice episode 19 of the 3rd season. The Outsiders help Garth and Troya. We actually see a little bit more of her personality. She's a typical Amazonian, proud warrior that is that knows Wonder Girl Cassie, and is apparently a sister to Diana, although technically all Themyscirian women are sisters, so maybe that's a figure of speech. Either way, they are attacked by assassins masked, but the team manages to pull it away, although all of this turns out to have been a stunt by Lex Luthor in order to show off the Outsiders and badly publicitive them. It's during this moment, though, that the parents of the young Outsiders, oh, and by the way, Eduardo I think his hero name is El Dorado. Still no answer exactly if he and Bart is a thing, but I guess we will find out by the end of the season. Oh, and by the way, there's something I have to say by the end of this video, if I remember it though. But the parents appears to Ed, and also the legal guardian to Bart, which actually turns out to be Jay. You may not know it, but last episode, the longtime wife of Jay actually died of old age. It is actually not known how old Jay is. I'm actually surprised he's still kicking. It may actually have something to do with his meta abilities when I think about it, but that is just my theory. And we also see for the first time Cassie's mom. According to the Wikipedia, as well as something else, Cassie's mom had a fling with Zeus, which produced Cassie, and that is why she is a, demigoddess. Don't quote, you can quote me on that, but it is still not proven, okay? If Young Justice ever will continue, I would actually like to see a small origin story of Cassie. Not that Cassie is my most favorite character, or the fact that she is really that interesting at all. It's just that one of Young Justice's biggest flaws and its biggest strengths is its characters. So many characters out there. And yet, not everyone will get their moment to shine. It is too bad, but also not surprising. But that's beside the point. Beside the point is the fact that they want to ground the kids for all of this. But the biggest surprise, which is actually a scene where you really begin to question everything, is with Tara, Brione, and Violet. as Violet talks them in and actually begins to explain that she, when she was a human and no longer a mother box, was bribed and let the assassins in, which killed their parents. It's worth noting that Brion doesn't lose his temper immediately, which is pretty unknown for someone like him. He just goes to his room quiet in a tranquil fury. I wonder. Although Helga has also given him some relationship advice earlier, what we'll see. The most strangest thing here is Tara. She has something that the TV tropes call a villainous BOCD, because we know she is working for the villains. But I'm trying to say is, why does she have that? Because she sent a text to Slade saying good news, the parents are grounding the outsiders. And there's many ways we can look at that, tag. First of all, why did Tara suddenly feel so surprised? Or did she surprise? There is this question in many minds. Isn't Tara a little bit responsible for her parents' death? Granted, that is only a theory. But I actually have had a theory that maybe Tara actually wanted her parents to be dead. Because after all, if she's working with the League of Shadows and is a villain, then wouldn't she want to kill her parents? After all, they abandoned her. But but why is she so shocked? Did she sincerely love her parents? Or is there something else to this matter? She doesn't see anything. We only see that she takes this with enormous amount of shock. And that shock can be translated as many different things. The thing is that she sends a text to Slade, that the witness fighting with the parents. However, it's the fact, why is that text to Slade? Is it because did she screw up after witnessing the outsiders fighting with the parents? Because the news about her parents threw her off balance? Or did she know that the outsiders turned around and choose not to inform him? Is this the start of Tara's questioning things? And does she have a heart underneath that psychological damage thing? We do not know. Either way, Beast Boy, Static and everything else managed to repel something by Ivo and Saber Meditine. And in the end, the kids manages to talk to their parents and get them to listen. Because they know they are danger. Because they are exposed. They know they are in danger of every single enemy to the Justice League. But they also know that this, job is what they do. They know it is difficult. They know they are in danger. But people are in other lives, meta-teens and many things more, are also in danger. If no one does anything, then there won't be any hope. And the biggest surprise here comes the fact that Lex Luthor is on show with with Lex, who actually reads the text that Tara has sent or something like that. But then Gordon suddenly shows many different informations, including the fact that the parents are supporting the decisions and many things more, including he surprisingly eggs Lex's face, which was not in the script. Lex knows that Gordon is working for Darkseid. And he had to take this, much to his surprise. He thought he was playing the outsiders, but now he suddenly turned everything around. He knew he was in the situation, but he couldn't do it. So why did Godfrey do this? Don't get me wrong, unlike Tara, Godfrey is without any doubt an evil man. We know that for sure. But there's also But it also brings a new question to the partnership of Darkseid and the Light. Remember, Vandal and Darkseid made a pact many centuries ago that they would conquer the universe until it's time for them to have their difficult clash. But the way that Godfrey undermined Lex here almost sounds like Darkseid shows that he's more loyal to Darkseid's cause than the Light. Granted, he's working for Darkseid, so it's of course. But it also begs the question, will Darkseid leave the Light's partnership if he feels they are screwing up too much. Remember, you should never trust Darkseid. And I'm not saying that Vandal is, but he has been in his good graces for centuries. For Darkseid to suddenly turn around, I don't think even Vandal will take that well. So either way, Lex had to undermine all this. But the biggest surprise comes of the fact that when the Outsider stops something by Ivy, it actually turns out it wasn't Ivy. It was a robot. A robot that the Batman Incorporated, as well as the other team, had created, and then taken some monkeys from Lex things, effectively framing Lex for this in this situation. Although Lex knew he was framed, he couldn't do anything about it because, well, it would undermine him, so to speak. But here is my point, what I said in the beginning. Diana is shocked by this. The first time she said that she wasn't approving of this because this is not what they represent. And now she says it even more serious. How far, Batman, are you willing to go for what you consider to be war? Indeed. This goes in line a lot with Batman's character. Batman is always a guy who fights fire with fire. He doesn't kill, but he does shows that he means business. And the fact that he creates these situations to get good publicity for the Outsiders is a nice move. But it also shows how little the League can be trusted if all of this were to be exposed. In fact, if the Outsiders heard about this, how would they take it? So yeah, Batman, this is indeed a war. The Light have won their political game for far too long, so it only makes sense for you to play the political game as well. But is it really so? Who has the upper hand? So yeah, a very good political episode. I hate politics, but I like this one. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the final thing I was gonna say here. Good news, everyone. At least for everyone who didn't want to drop the show after they felt a little bit disappointed by the animation or the fact that there's so many characters. We have got permission for a season 3 of Young Justice. Now we just have to wait to 2021. Okay, granted, they didn't say how long we have to wait for that one. But given how long we have to wait for Outsiders, the very high quality animation, I'm pretty sure we have to wait a long time for season 4. And season 3 is not done yet. But I begged for a season 4, at least. We got it, and that is always good news. Yes, a lot of characters here in Young Justice, but I still feel like Young Justice can really take the limits. The question now is, what awaits us far? This thing is, Diana is worried about the Justice League, and she is in space. She can't do anything. What will Superman say if he hears about this? Yeah, it really creates a situation. What did you think about this episode? What do you think Tara's situations are? Do you really sincerely believe that she did love her parents and she's shocked by all this? Give me your thoughts if you have any.